Hare Nama Hare Nama eva kevalam Kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyata Hare Nama Hare Nama eva kevalam Kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyata
हरे कृष्णा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। जस्ट टेक अ फ्यू मिनट्स टू इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ माता जी। आज हमारे साथ में हरे कृष्णा सभी भक्तों को दंडवत प्रणाम, सुप्रभात। आज हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे साथ हमारे बीच में हर ग्रेस मेधावनी सखी माता जी है, जो परम पूज्य जयपताका स्वामी महाराज जी के कृपा पात्र शिष्य है। और माता जी बहुत अच्छा ऑनलाइन प्रीचिंग करते हैं सुबह और संध्या समय में, और कई भक्तों को माताजी प्रेरित करती हैं। और माताजी सुबह सुबह प्रातः काल में सबको बहुत प्रेरित करती है ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में जप करना, और हरि नाम के बारे में बहुत अच्छा प्रेरणा देती है माताजी। और माताजी बहुत अच्छा प्रचार कर रही है मीरा रोड से। माताजी हरे कृष्णा।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यां नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So thank you for joining in for the Srimad Bhagavatam session. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanyamnodhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sadrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजना सहितम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओ महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। सप्तकांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यईश्वरं। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरे कृष्णा। So, Jiva Pavan God Prabhu, will there be screen sharing?
तो गोपीनाथ प्रभु जी स्क्रीन शेयर कर सकते हैं या मैं करूं प्रभु जी? हरे कृष्णा। मैं कर लेता हूं प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा। माता जी जस्ट अ मिनट, आई विल जस्ट शेयर द स्क्रीन।
Hare Krishna. So, thank you, Jiva Pavan God Prabhu, for this opportunity. Very grateful to all the devotees who joined for the Srimad Bhagavatam session. Manja kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to start with verse number 20, 2.1.20 and 2.1.21. So we'll recite the verse first. Rajastamobhyam akshiptam vimudham manatmanah yacchedharanaya dhiro antiyatat kritam malam. Translation by Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One's mind is always agitated by the passionate mode of material nature and bewildered by the ignorant mode of nature. But one can rectify such conceptions by the relation of Vishnu and thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty things created by them. So we'll discuss the purport in detail. We'll also read verse number 21. Yasyam sandharyamanayam yogino bhakti lakshanah ashu sampadyate yoga ashrayam badramikshataha. Translation by Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, by this system of remembrance and by being fixed in the habit of seeing the all good personal conception of the Lord, one can very soon attain devotional service to the Lord under his direct shelter. Okay, so I'll stop the screen sharing now. Okay, so now today we are discussing very important verses. In these verses, the importance of being in Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna में रहने से क्या महत्व होता है, उसके बारे में पहला श्लोक में बताया गया है. And in the second shloka, directly it moves into the process of devotional service. Right? The verse number 1, when it talks about importance of being in Sattva Guna, they should understand that Sattva Guna in itself is not the destination. तो अपने आप में destination नहीं है, वो एक appropriate platform है जहाँ से हम लोग शुद्ध सत्व platform में जा सकते हैं. Okay. So let us go into detailed analysis of the first verse. One's mind is always agitated. Rajas tamobhyam akshiptam vimudam. Rajas means mode of passion. What does Rajas or the passionate mode create? It creates agitation in the mind. Why? A Rajasic person, उसको हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ काम करना रहता है. He always wants to attain some goals, to achieve something in the material world, and he is always frustrated because all of the attempts need not be successful. तो इसलिए वो frustrate हो जाता है. और जो तमोगुण में रहता है, the one in the mode of ignorance, he is bewildered. उसको समझ में नहीं आता है कि क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. So he is extremely bewildered. So tamoguna person is bewildered. He does not know what to do, what not to do. Whereas a rajasic person, जो रजोगुण में रहता है, वो इतना materialistic pursuits में गुम रहता है कि he does not understand the purpose of life. He keeps on working. He is very, very busy, but he does not know the purpose of life. So in this very beautiful, it is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. In the purport he mentions, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Asu Durlabha. It is after many lifetimes that one actually understands that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, the Vasudeva or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna is everything, and one dedicates his life to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Until such time, either we don't know what to do, we are in Tamoguna, or we are running behind things which create frustration for us. That is in Rajoguna. या हमको पता नहीं होता है कि क्या हमको क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, या फिर हम उन चीजों के पीछे भागते हैं जो हमको actual happiness नहीं दे सकता है. Right? And Prabhupada also mentions in the purport about how it is very difficult. Even those who follow the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sometimes they get stuck in the Brahman realization. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kleshodikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavadbir avapyate. So pantheism ऐसा बताया गया है ये verse में. Right? What is pantheism? Pantheism means You understand that everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? This water that I'm drinking, it represents Krishna. Right? Krishna also tells in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? Out of rishis, I'm Narada Muni, and out of beasts, I'm the lion. So Krishna declares himself to be the best of all animals, birds, beasts, mountains. Like in this way, whatever we see, हम प्रकृति में जहाँ कहीं भी देखते हैं, भगवान को याद कर सकते हैं. That is the meaning of pantheism. But that pantheism, which results in Brahman realization, has its own problems. Why? Because those who are in the platform of Brahman realization, after a particular point in time, they try to become God. That is the last snare of Maya. ऐसा बताते हैं प्रभुपाद. वो क्यों होता है? जो जीवेर स्वरूप है कृष्णेर नित्य दास, जो प्लेजर हमको मिलता है, जो ब्लिस हमको मिलता है सेवा करने से, बिकॉज अवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजिशन इज सर्विस टू द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड. तो हम लोग सेवा अगर नहीं करते हैं, इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द इम्पर्सनल ब्रह्मन जो है वही फाइनल डेस्टिनेशन है हमारा, तो ब्रह्मभूता प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचती न कांक्षती. हम लोग लैमेंटेशन और हैंकरिंग के बिना तो रहेंगे, लेकिन हमारे पास जो ब्लिस चाहिए होता है, राइट, आनंदमय अभ्यासा जो है हम लोग, क्योंकि हम भगवान के पार्ट एंड पार्सल हैं, हम भी हमेशा खुश रहना चाहते हैं. भगवान ने ये सब क्यों सृष्टि किया था? क्योंकि he himself wants to enjoy. And we are parts and parcels of Krishna, so we also have this enjoying propensity. तो हम लोग एंजॉय तो करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हमको पता नहीं है कि सही तरह से एंजॉयमेंट कहाँ से मिलता है. हम लोग ये मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में, जो कृष्ण भगवान ने बताया है कि दुखालयम अशाश्वतम जो है, इट इज दुखालयम फुल ऑफ मिजरीज एंड अशाश्वतम टेम्पररी. जो दुखालयम में हम लोग सुख ढूंढेंगे तो हमको कैसा मिलेगा? नहीं मिल सकता. इसीलिए ब्राह्मण प्लेटफॉर्म में हमको सुख नहीं मिल सकता है. हम लोग नो हैंकरिंग, नो लैमेंटेशन, वहां पे स्थित रहेंगे, लेकिन पीसफुल रहेंगे, लेकिन हमारे पास ब्लिस नहीं रहेगा. So we have to advance towards our constitutional position. सवे पुंसाम परो धर्म यथा भक्ति रदोक्षुजी अहितुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मा सुप्रसिद्धति. हमारा आत्मा को कभी ब्लिस पहुंचेगा जब हम भगवान की सेवा करते हैं. और कैसा सेवा करना चाहिए? अहितुकी अप्रतिहता. अहितुकी मतलब कुछ मटेरियल मोटिव नहीं रहना चाहिए. ओ भगवान, मैं 16 राउंड चांट करती हूँ, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे अच्छा जॉब चाहिए, मुझे सैलरी हाइक चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं प्रे करना है. और अप्रतिहता मतलब आज मेरे को मूड हुआ, मैंने चैंटिंग किया, कल मेरे को मूड नहीं हुआ, मैं ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में नहीं उठूंगी, चैंटिंग नहीं करूंगी, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. जो डिवोशनल सर्विस करते हैं, भक्ति जो करते हैं हम लोग, वो अहितुकी अप्रतिहता लेवल तक पहुंचना चाहिए हमको. जहां भी है हम, करंट पोजीशन जहां भी है, हमको वहां पहुंचना है जहां हम लोग अहितुकी अप्रतिहता सेवा भगवान को कर सकते हैं, which is without any material motive and which is uninterrupted. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in text number 21, what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport is that the sattvic platform is very, very good to actually attain Shuddha sattvic platform. You can easily jump over. But when we surrender to a supreme personality of Godhead and take such surrender through a spiritual master, Krishna क्या बताते हैं भगवद गीता में? तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन हरिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः. हमको स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को अप्रोच करना चाहिए, उनका सेवा करना चाहिए, और उनसे विनम्रता से, ह्यूमिलिटी से सवाल पूछना चाहिए. मतलब we have to ask our queries in a humble state of mind without a challenging spirit. And what does the spiritual master do? The spiritual master will reveal the knowledge to us by which we can go back home, back to Godhead. Right? So, and what does the spiritual master do? There are three kinds of realizations, right? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shabdate. So in verse 20, Prabhupada has actually told that if we are in the state of Brahman realization, we are very bewildered. Kleshod adhikarastesha. It's a klesha. It's very, very difficult. It's a bewildering state of mind to be engaged in worshipping the Brahman while we are embodied. We have this material body. We have this material senses. So we all want to do something. We cannot remain idle even for 5 minutes also. We have to sit down. We cannot. Because the nature of our soul is very active. We want to be actively engaged in something. प्रभुपाद बताते हैं एक लेक्चर में, हम लोग सेवा करना हमारा स्वाभाविक नेचर है. तो हम भगवान का सेवा कर सकते हैं, या भगवान का सेवा कर सकते हैं, या फिर माया का सेवा कर सकते हैं. इसलिए either we serve the Lord or we serve Maya Devi. So what is the nature? To serve. So what is Prabhupada telling in the purport of verse number 21? Srila Prabhupada is saying we have to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is the highest form of realization, right? Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam ajnanam avyayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. So the highest realization is the Bhagavan teacher. Why is the Lord called Bhagavan? Right? There are so many demigods who are also controllers. They control the entire universe. They are administrators of the universe. But only Krishna is Bhagavan. Why? Because he possesses all the 6 opulences in full. What are the 6 opulences? Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashashashriya, Jnana Vairagyasya, Sanna Bhaga Itingana. 6 opulences: beauty, wealth, strength, knowledge, fame, and renunciation. So Lord Krishna has this in complete and completely and unlimitedly. Krishna has this. So Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. When we engage our senses, our body, right? Like Ambarish Maharaj, right? Savimana Krishna Padaravindayor, Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunana Varne. What did he do? Manas Krishna Padaravindayor. He fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunana Varnane. Whenever he had to speak, he would speak the glories of the Lord. He would walk to the temple of the Lord. He would engage his hands in playing musical instruments. He would fold his hands and pray to the Lord. With his eyes, he will take darshan of the Lord. And with his entire body, he will do Dandavat Parikara, that Dandavat Pranams to the Lord, isn't it? So, like Ambarish Maharaj perfected his life by engaging all of his senses in the service of the Lord. When we are engaging in the service of the Lord, then we are actually understanding the personal conception of the Lord. हम लोग घर पे हमारे अर्च्य विग्रह रहते हैं, तो हम लोग सुबह उठ के immediately we think, what do I offer the Lord? When do I wake up the Lord? When can I do Mangala Arati? Then we do Mangala Arati, then we do Narsinga Arati, then we do Guru Puja, we do Tulasi Arati. All of this we do. Why? Because our life is centered around the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. When we are dedicating our lives or we are utilizing the entire life in service of the Lord, that is only bhakti. Then by doing so, right, we are all sadhana bhaktas. हमको रागानुगा भक्ता नहीं है हम लोग. हमको ऐसा इच्छा नहीं है मुझे भगवान को ये करना है, मुझे चैंटिंग 64 राउंड्स रोज करना है. ऐसा रागानुगा भक्ति हमारे दिल पे अभी आया नहीं है. राइट, वी हैव नॉट येट रियलाइज्ड दैट रागानुगा स्टेज ऑफ भक्ति. दिस इज साधका भक्तास. वी डू अवर 16 राउंड्स अर्ली मॉर्निंग ड्यूरिंग ब्रह्म मुहूर्त, क्योंकि हम लोग अपने स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर को ये वी हैव टेकन आवर vows of chanting, right, during our initiation, or we have taken shelter of international study of Krishna consciousness, whose founder Srila Prabhupada is told minimum you have to chant 16 rounds. कम से कम हमको 16 माला करना है. Because of that we are doing, and we are practicing all these regulative principles, right? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, like that. We are doing all of this. Why? So that we can slowly but surely, gradually attain pure devotional service unto the Lord. So under the guidance of the spiritual master, we are going to engage in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyadi mam namaskuru mameva ishati yatvaivam atmana mat parayanaha. Manmana bhava mad bhakto. Manmana, always think of me. Mad bhakto, become my devotee. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji, offer your obeisances unto me. And worship me. Yaji means to worship. Mam namaskuru means offer obeisances unto me. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mameva ishati yatvaiva atmana mat parayanaha. In this way you will definitely come back to me. And the same verse is repeated twice in the 9th chapter, as well as the first 2 lines are repeated in the 18th chapter. जो अगर हम ऐसा repetition होता है ना, तो we should understand, तो उसका महत्व बहुत ज्यादा तरह से मानना चाहिए हमको. इवन हरेर नाम एव केवलम 3 बार रिपीट होता है वहां पे. चलो नास्त्येव गतिरन्यथा. मतलब उसका इम्पोर्टेंस उतना ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है. When something is emphasized, then you should understand that so much more importance is given to that particular process, that we have to completely abide by that. It is not a detail, it is a principle. Principles are highlighted in very very clear terms and are repeated several times, so that हम लोग कलयुग वासी है ना. कलो दोषे निरराजन अस्ति एकोन महान गुणा. In this age of Kali, there is all bad qualities. Kalir doshe nirerajan, many what do you call dosha, or we are like manda sumanda matayo, right? We are misguided. We have low low span of life. We are always quarrelsome. We are extremely mentally disturbed. We don't have proper guidance, right? So in Kali Yuga, it is established that Harer Nama Iva Kevalam, because we don't have the proper ingredients to do any yajna or to engage in the process of meditation. Arjuna tells in Treta Yuga itself, right? Chanchalamiyavana Krishna. I mean, in Dwapara Yuga itself, Arjuna tells Krishna, Chanchalamiyavana Krishna, Pramati Balavad. My mind is, as strong as an elephant. It is running here, there, everywhere. And now we are 5,000 years into Kali Yuga. How can we expect that our mind will stay under control? That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come in this age of Kali, and he is given this Hare Krishna Mahamantra simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now we will be able to attain pure loving devotional service to the Lord. In today's Brahma Muhurta program, we were just reading, Krishna himself feels that more than my form, the Shamasundar, beautiful form of Lord Krishna, Krishna himself feels that my holy name is more dear to me. The holy name is more potent than even the Shamasundar form of Lord Sri Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinatva Nama Namino. Right? So when we serve the deity form of the Lord, when we perform devotional service and we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no difference. Why? Because Abhinatva Nama Namino. The Nama or Namino mein, अर्थात भगवान और उनका नाम में कोई फर्क नहीं है, कोई अंतर नहीं है. The same benefits or even more benefits we will derive in this age of Kali simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Srila Prabhupada also mentions 99% of our spiritual life is going to depend on our chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Krishna himself is declared, and Krishna has come in the most munificent form as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mode of Srimati Radharani. And then what is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who has come in the mode of a pure devotee saying? Again he is also saying the same thing. Hare Nama Iva Kevalam. Hello, Nasteva Gatiranyata. Repetition is very, very important because we all have all the knowledge. हमारे brain में सब पता है हमको क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है. But we have to train our mind to do the right thing. So how do we start? Right? We are in this age of Kali, the process is susukam kartum avyayam. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, it is very, very joyfully performed. Susukam means very joyfully performed. The sadhana and the sadhya are the same. In Kali Yuga, when we are saying sadhana, what is sadhana? Sadhana means the process by which we are attaining the goal or the sadhya. जो साधन है, जो हमारे गोल को अचीव करने के लिए हमको यूज करते हैं, that is called sadhana. What is the sadhana? Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting is the sadhana. What is the sadhya? Sadhya matlab goal. What is the goal? The goal is to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Rupa Goswami says, na, Tunde Tandadinim Ratim Vitanote Tundavali Labdaye Karna Krojit. He saying, I want millions, thousands and millions of ears and mouths so that I can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now, Rupa Goswami is a pure devotee of the Lord. And what is he saying? He also wants to chant holy names of the Lord. So, साधका भक्ता हम लोग आज जो 16 माला जो करते हैं, जो हमारे गुरु को हमने प्रतिज्ञा लिया है करके, we are doing 16 rounds as sadhana bhaktas. But as we perfect our lives, as we develop love of Godhead, we will want to chant. Then we will not be thinking, oh, 16 mala mein kitna mala ho gaya hai. No, that is not the attitude. Then we want to chant more and more and more. We will think, oh, why do I have only one tongue to chant Hare Krishna Mantra? Let me have millions of tongues. Let me have millions of ears, so that I can hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada also mentioning how this pure devotional service is not only, it's susukam kartam aviyam, it is joyfully performed, but it can yield the highest benefit. So, in Kali Yuga, since we have, like I mentioned, the low ayu, what is that verse? Prayena alpa yusha sabya. We are all completely disturbed and we have a low ayu and all of that. So this easy process is given So somebody I was hearing one devotee's class. So each one is given a test according to his own class. Like for example, if I'm in the first standard, I'll be given a first standard paper. Now, once I pass that, then only I go to the second standard. Then when I pass the second standard, I go to the third standard. So today, when I'm extremely passionate about doing things, then slowly I have to move towards Sattva-guna. When I move towards Sattva-guna, but and the same time I chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then it becomes easy for my evolution. Okay, so this is one method. And then I understand, yehi samsparsha jabhoga dukkha yone evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Right? This material senses is the source of misery. They have a beginning, adi, anta. There is an adi to it and there is an anta to it. They have a beginning and an end. So I should not delight in them. So slowly I understand just Shastras. My intelligence is purified by understanding Shastras. Slowly I move to the Sattvic platform. I work for the benefit of, for the pleasure of the Lord. Then I engage in activities which are pleasing to the Lord. But still, that is not good enough. We have to move towards the platform of Shuddha Sattvic platform. Prabhupada is mentioning, even in the mode of goodness, there is a tinge of ignorance as well as passion. It is like it is like we are puppeteers. The puppeteers are actually moving us from sometimes in the mode of goodness, sometimes in the mode of passion, sometimes we're in the mode of ignorance. We are just running around within the material world according to the three gunas, or the three modes of material nature. So what we have to do? Nistraigunyo Bhava Arjuna. Krishna tells Arjuna, Nistraigunyo. Move beyond the three modes of material nature. Because, see, ignorance is only the root cause for us being in this material world. Ignorance and envy. Because we don't understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is my duty to serve Him. But I want to enjoy myself. हमको खुद का एंजॉयमेंट ही इम्पोर्टेंट है. हम ये रियलाइज नहीं करते हैं कि हम लोग भगवान का पार्ट एंड पार्सल है. हम भगवान को सेवा करेंगे, भगवान को प्लीज करेंगे तो ही हम लोगों को प्लेजर मिल सकता है. But we take the wrong route of trying to enjoy independently, and that's why what happens, we are given this material world. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining with an example how a mother is cooking nice boga, offering to the Lord and giving Krishna prasadam to the children. But the children, they also want to cook. They go and tell the mother, no, I also want to cook, let me cook. What does the mother do? The mother give a toy set to the child. So the child actually keeps the nice stand and all the toys, makes chapati, everything is done. At 1 o'clock, when the child is hungry, what does it do? The child goes to the mother, Mummy, bhook lag rahi hai. Then mother says, you already cooked. Yeah, take that and eat. Can the child eat what they have cooked? It's all sand and all. No. So that is the kind of pleasure that we have in this material world. Ultimately, real bliss means you have to turn towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our Supreme Mother, Srimati Radharani, who is offering us the ultimate happiness. So, so these are some of the points that I wanted to highlight in today's verses. How devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and rendering of such devotional service in a mode of the servant of the servant of the servant. See, why are we rendering devotional service? हमको मजा आता है इसलिए मैं devotional service करती हूँ. That is the wrong attitude. Still we are in the three modes of material nature. But when we render service to please Guru and Gauranga, हमको गुरु और गौरंगा को प्रसन्न करना है. ऐसा कॉन्शियस में हम लोग सेवा करेंगे तो हम लोग कैसा करेंगे सेवा? दास के भाव में करेंगे. Because it is only when we serve in the mode of the servant of the servant of the servant will it please Guru and Gauranga. Otherwise it will not please them. And what is the purpose, right? Samsiddhir haritoshanam. If you are not pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead by our endeavors, by our activities, manasa deho geho jo kichu mor arpilo tu apade Nanda Kishore. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Manasa, my mind, Deho, my body, Geho, Jogi Chumor, whatever I have in my possession, whether it is my physical body, my mind, my senses, my intelligence, everything, Arpilu Tua Pade Nanda Kishore. मैं आपको अर्पित करता हूँ. I want to engage all of my senses in your service. So this is the consciousness with which if we serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what happens? We go back to that world from which there is no coming back. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Yad Gatva Nivartante Tad Dhama Paramam. Now once you perfect your life by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, rendering devotional service in the mode of the servant of the servant of the servant for the exclusive pleasure of Guru and Gauranga, then by the causeless mercy of Guru and Gauranga, we will go back to that abode of Golokadam, from which there is no return. And that is the perfection of human form of life. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bharat Brahmite Manushya Janmara, Janma Sartha Kari Kari Paropakar. Right? It is not, they are not selfish people who just want to perfect our lives. Right? Our Srila Prabhupada, he was happily situated in Vrindavan Dham. He was in Radha Damodar temple at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. Right? Rupa Goswami Samadhi, he could see from his window. Very nicely situated in Vrindavan. However, at the right age old of 70 years, just by taking the orders of a spiritual master in his heart, he went to the Western world to give them Krishna Bhakti. Today, if you're all sitting in this class, we are all part of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We have to be very, very grateful to His Divine Grace, Avecharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who at the age of 70 took this mode of preaching, following the instructions of a spiritual master, in the mode of the servant of the servant of the servant. Right? He did not want to go. One person asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, आपकी तो उम्र हो गई है, आप मर जाएंगे वहां जाके, आप क्यों अमेरिका जाना चाहते हैं? And then Prabhupada said, see, I want to go to America not for sense gratification. I will die at any time, but I want to fulfill the instructions of my spiritual master. And that person told, ठीक है, आपने भागवतम लिखा है ना, आपका पहला वाला कैंटो आप भेज दीजिए, आप क्यों जाना चाहते हैं? And then Prabhupada mentions that there is very important two Bhagavatams. One is the book Bhagavata and one is the person Bhagavata. Right? Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam Bhagavata sevaya. Right? All the abhadras which are in our hearts, what are they? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Right? All of these anarthas will be completely removed if we serve Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. Nityam has two meanings. One is serve Bhagavatam every day. Nityam has another meaning. What is it? Serve Bhagavatam eternally. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. And two Bhagavatas we have to serve. We are not only the book Bhagavatam, we are serving the book Bhagavatam now, right? We are reading the words, translation, purport. We are serving book Bhagavatam. But it is very, very important to also serve the person Bhagavatam. That's why Prabhupada told that person, we also need to have a role model. हम तो पढ़ के कितना समझ सकते हैं, लेकिन हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि एक व्यक्ति जो है, he is living with the principles of Bhagavatam. So he is the person Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada, he went to the Western world. He could have sent the books. He had written the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, teachings of Lord Chaitanya. He had written so many, easy journey to higher planets, easy journey to other planets, science of self-realization, Ishopanishad, all of that he had written. So many Back to Godhead magazines, everything. He could have sent those books. Prabhupada's books are time bombs. Anybody who gets Prabhupada's book, like this month is especially the book of the month of book distribution, where we go out and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books to please Srila Prabhupada, to please Srila Guru Maharaj, right? We do that. We try to get sponsors to, sponsor for Gita Dhan, so that we can offer it, free to people who cannot afford the Bhagavad Gita. Why do we do all of this? Simply to please Guru, simply to please Srila Prabhupada. When we please them by doing all of this, then we will be able to advance in devotional service. So service to person Bhagavatam means you please the person Bhagavatam, and the person blesses you that you advance in devotional service. It is only with the blessings of Guru, Gauranga and all the devotees that one can advance in devotional service. My own personal endeavor by reading Bhagavad Gita, right? I know many people who know all the 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, but their life is not transformed. Because when we hear with the motive of entertainment, टाइम पास हो जाता है, आधा घंटा 1 घंटा भागवतम सुन लेते हैं, अच्छा कहानियां हैं, if that is the mode in which we are going to hear Bhagavatam, it will not create a transformation in our hearts. As long as there is no transformation in the heart, we will not advance in devotional service. Of course, just hearing and speaking and Bhagavatam, automatically somebody will improve. Even the 7 days Saptaha they do Bhagavatam, they also benefit, but the benefit is very, very minimal. But if we want to perfect our life in this human form of life, if we want to go back home, back to Godhead, we have to serve the book Bhagavatam, we have to serve the person Bhagavatam, who is Guru, who is Srila Prabhupada, and by pleasing them, we will be able to perfect our human form of life and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So with this, we will end here. I was given half an hour time, so I think we will stop here. We can take maybe 1 or 2 questions if there are any. Ancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha अतीतानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। Prabhu, I am dot on time. I have completed on time. Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी। जी माता जी, आपने बहुत ही अच्छी तरह समझाया। माता जी, आपके परिचय में मैं सिर्फ एक बात कहना भूल गया कि माता जी जो है वो ऊर्जा के स्रोत है। अभी जैसे हमने ये अनुभव किया होगा कि कितना माता जी ने ऊर्जा से और कितने कम समय में माता जी ने कितना सारा बता दिया। तो माता जी ऐसे हमें रोज प्रातः काल में ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में प्रेरित करते हैं। तो माता जी को प्रणाम करते हैं और सभी जो भी यहाँ पे एकत्रित हुए भक्त हैं, सभी से निवेदन है कि जिनको कुछ प्रश्न है या कुछ टीका टिप्पणी है तो माता जी को बता सकते हैं। माता जी को भी और सेवा रहेगी। तो हरे कृष्णा। मैं फिर अंत में एक जिज्ञासा है वो पूछता हूँ माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Okay, so I think there are no questions. So can we end the session now, Prabhu?
Yes, माता जी।
Thank you.
यस माता जी, ओनली वन क्वेरी। एक ही जिज्ञासा है माता जी। जी सनातन निताय प्रभु जी भी है माता जी। कैन यू प्लीज शेयर 5 मिनट्स, स्पेयर 5 मिनट्स बिकॉज सम डिवोटीज माइट हैव क्वेश्चन। हरे कृष्णा जी। सनातन निताय प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु जी। मेरा क्वेश्चन कोई नहीं है माता जी, देयर इज नो एक्चुअली क्वेश्चन। आई एम जस्ट थैंकफुल टू यू द वे you have been you have given this particular session. It was really energetic and dynamic. I'm seriously very very thankful to you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your encouraging words. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai.
माता जी
हरे
यस 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 कुंजेश्वरी माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी, पंचांग प्रणाम। माता जी, बहुत सुंदर क्लास था आपका। और जैसे आपने बोला हर एक की कैसी साधना होनी चाहिए, फिर किस तरह आपने बोला कि हमें भी यहाँ पर सिर्फ जैसे बच्चों को खेलने के लिए मिलता है वैसे ही हमें भी मिला है, लेकिन हमारी भूख तो राधा रानी मिटा सकती। बहुत सुंदर था। जैसे जीवपावन प्रभु जी ने कहा कि ऊर्जा भरा हुआ होता है, और किस तरह हमें भागवतम सुनने के बाद अपने हृदय में भी परिवर्तन लाना चाहिए, वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण पॉइंट था। माता जी बहुत सुंदर। कुछ आपकी तारीफ जितनी करिए उतनी कम है। आप फिर से आइएगा, यही विनती है। हरे कृष्णा। पंचांग प्रणाम।
Thank you. Actually, my Hindi is not very good, so I try to speak between Hindi and English. So kindly forgive me for my Hindi. Maybe I may use the wrong words or pronunciation. So kindly forgive me for that. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू माता जी। जी माता जी, आई जस्ट इन्फॉर्म यू दैट इन दिस फोरम वी हैव devotees from different parts of India as well from Dubai Damodar Desh also, and every day we get together morning, working day 8:30 to 9, and Sundays 9 to 9:30. So we hear this Srimad Bhagavatam. So on behalf of everyone, I request at your lotus feet, Mataji, please give us more opportunity to hear as well as all सभी जो अतिथि भक्त आए हैं सभी से यही जो लिंक है, ये लिंक पे हम लोग प्रतिदिन प्रातः में ये श्रीमद् भागवतम सत्र का श्रवण करते हैं। तो आप भी जुड़ सकते हैं। माता जी, जैसे आपने इतना अच्छा ये जो पूरा समझाया माता जी इंग्लिश में, और यही आशा रखते हैं कि सबको समझ में आया। माता जी, एक मेरी जिज्ञासा ये थी कि जैसे आपने आत्म साक्षात्कार, सेल्फ रियलाइज सोल के बारे में बताया, जो पैंथीइज्म के बारे में बताया कि जो मतलब ब्रह्म ज्योति या ब्रह्म भूत जो स्तर तक पहुंचते हैं, लेकिन वहां पे उनको ये आनंद का अनुभव नहीं होता है। इसके लिए वे अपने आप को उनका ये अनुभूति नहीं मिलती है। और एक दूसरा आपने बताया कि वे अपने आप को ईश्वर भी समझने लगते हैं। तो माता जी, मेरी जिज्ञासा ये थी कि जैसे यहाँ पे हम कई बार ऐसे देखने मिलता है या ऐसा सुनने मिलता है कि कई ऐसे योगी जन जो होते हैं हिमालय से, या कभी कभी बहुत सिद्ध योगी होते हैं, वो आते हैं और बहुत सारी ऐसी अपनी सिद्धि के बारे में या ऐसी कई सारे ऐसे बातें करते हैं जिनसे लोग प्रभावित होते हैं। तो माता जी, आत्म साक्षात्कार जो योगी होते हैं, क्या आत्म साक्षात्कार जो व्यक्ति होते हैं, उनकी पहचान केवल जो भक्ति से जुड़े हुए हैं उनसे होती है, या जो ऐसे सिद्ध योगी हैं जिन्होंने वर्षों वर्ष तक तपस्या की है, कुछ सिद्धि प्राप्त की है, और वे यहाँ पे आके लोगों को प्रभावित करते हैं और लोग केवल फिर ध्यान के मार्ग पे चलने का प्रयत्न करते हैं, या जो भक्ति को छोड़ के दूसरा कुछ कार्य करने का प्रयास करते हैं, तो हमें कैसे समझना चाहिए माता जी? ये जिज्ञासा थी माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा, वंडरफुल क्वेश्चन प्रभु। तो ये जो सिद्धि वो लोग हैं, हाँ, दे even Ashtanga yoga, right? Every practice it happens in all the yugas. The best practice in this age of Kali is, of course, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. तो ये जो योगीज हैं, जिनको सिद्धि वगैरह वगैरह चाहिए, हाँ, वो उनको सेल्फिशनेस मतलब सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन ही उनका इंटेंशन रहता है। लेकिन भक्ति सेवा जो करते हैं, भगवान की सेवा करते हैं, तभी भी हम आई को, हमारा सेंटर ऑफ द लाइफ जो आई है, मैं जहाँ पे हूँ, वहां से हमको आई को हटा के भगवान को रखना है। जब हम लोग सिद्धि भी मतलब योगिक प्रोसेस भी करते हैं, हमको अचीव करना है क्या? मतलब आई वांट टू बिकम लोअर, स्मॉलर देन द स्मॉलेस्ट और बिगर देन द बिगेस्ट, ऐसा सिद्धि हमको अचीव करना है। तो तभी भी क्या सेंटर में क्या है? मैं ही हूँ। मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे ये करना है, मुझे ये फेम ग्लोरी चाहिए। मैं क्यों आके दिखाता हूँ सबको ये विभूति मेरे को आ सकता है, मैं कितना कॉइन्स प्रोड्यूस कर सकता हूँ, या फिर मैं फ्लोट कर सकता हूँ, या फिर मैं फ्लाई कर सकता हूँ। क्यों? बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट पीपल टू अडोर मी। मुझे लोगों से सुनना है, आप कितना यू नो यू आर वेरी पावरफुल, यू आर एबल टू फ्लाई इन द स्काई, यू आर एबल टू गो इन द वाटर एक्सेट्रा। बट वहां पे क्या है मेरा? व्हाट इज माय कॉन्शियसनेस, व्हाट इज माय इंटेंशन? इट इज सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन। I want that adoration, I want the glory. That is why I'm doing the Siddhic processes. But in the process of devotional service, right from the time we start the process of devotional service, we remove this I, right? Gaur Gopal Prabhu says, I bought this iPhone, I paid for the iPhone. So I is everywhere. As long as I is there in the center, we cannot advance in devotional service. We cannot go back to the spiritual world. We may become lighter, we may become heavier, we may become, we may show so much of magic, we may become very powerful, but all of that will die with the body. तभी जो सिद्धीज है हमारी शरीर के साथ खत्म हो जाता है। Our mind, intelligence and false ego is going to travel with us. So what are the impressions we are creating in our mind? That will actually take us to the next body, or which will even enable us to perfect our life in this lifetime. वो भक्ति सेवा ही है। It is only by devotional service that we are able to cross over this ocean of material existence and go back to the spiritual world. No other process. Of course, Paramatma realization, Brahman realization, very good. But Prabhupada mentions that after some time being in those realizations, one does not get the bliss of devotional service. So one falls down. One goes and opens a hospital, schools, colleges, etc. Simply because he wants to engage himself in some activity. So in this age of Kali, when we want to engage our senses in some way or the other, we will not be able to sit idle and meditate on the Supreme Lord. Even if we meditate, if we get some siddhis, then those siddhis also stand as obstacle in our path to go back home, back to Godhead, because that will increase our false ego. That will make us think, I am the controller, I am the enjoyer, I am able to do certain things. But what is the prerequisite to go back home, back to Godhead? Dasanu, dasanu, das. When I develop the spirit of being the servant of the servant of the servant, and my only goal is to render devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Rishyate. As long as we don't keep Lord in the center and dovetail our activities to serve and please the Lord, serve, satisfy and please the Lord, Radhesham Prabhu says. As long as we don't do this, then we cannot go back home, back to Godhead. We can enjoy a lot of fame, glory. We'll be rotating in the cycle of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshanam. We'll be happy sometimes, we'll be in misery sometimes, but we will be roaming around in this in this material world. Okay? So that's what is my understanding. Hare Krishna.
थैंक यू माता जी। धन्यवाद माता जी, बहुत सुंदर आपने समझाया कि किस तरह हमें दासानुदास के भाव में, और भक्ति ही एक जो माध्यम है, हम भगवान को प्रसन्न, गुरु और भगवान को प्रसन्न कर सकते हैं। और जो ये योगी हैं उनको भी मतलब कुछ ना कुछ स्वार्थ होता ही है, अहम, और इससे हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि भक्ति योग ही सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है। धन्यवाद माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।